Being successful on YouTube will be the hardest, most grueling, pride-swallowing experience of your entire life. But when it's all said and done and you've got to this place where you are a professional full-time YouTuber, there is nothing better. But in this video, I want to share with you some of the biggest trials that I went through in my journey so that I can prepare you for the hard work that's ahead of becoming a professional YouTuber.
Owen Video!
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Owen Video, and on this channel, you're gonna learn how to become a professional YouTuber with not only YouTube tricks and advice, but also business advice that will help you to get the brand deals, get the sponsorships, and become the professional that you need to be to excel on YouTube. And I want to tell you a little bit about my journey because I hear and I see a lot of the big YouTubers out there, many of whom I know. I've traveled the world with Peter McKinnon. We've been in Belfast together. We've been in LA together. I've hosted conferences where Casey Neistat or Gary Vee was the keynote speaker, and I've consulted some of the biggest channels on YouTube. But I've been a professional, full-time, paid YouTuber since my first year in the business. And I think that there's a couple things that I want to clear up. First of all is that, you know, a lot of times you hear about following your passion and like doing what you're passionate about. And I believe in that, believe me. Like I have a comedy channel on TikTok and I have a family channel on YouTube that we're building. But I gotta tell you, like this advice about your passion is only gonna take you so far. Like you have to be paying attention to trends in the marketplace and maybe making videos every now and then that don't particularly excite you. I think this is the best advice that I can give you too, is that you have to watch out for like this vision of being a professional YouTuber means doing whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. That couldn't be farther from the truth. When you are a YouTuber, you move away from having one boss, like at a traditional job. You know what I mean? You sit behind your desk and you've got one boss, maybe two. But on YouTube, you have 10,000 bosses, and they're the viewers of your content. So you've got to really be focused on them and their needs and paying attention to trends that could be big for your channel, even if you're not entirely passionate about them. And so, you know, the first thing I want to talk to you about is this, like, treating YouTube as if it is your business, as if you are the producer of a television station that talks about dogs, cats, woodworking, slime, or whatever it is you're doing. There's so many of you out there with so many big talents, but you have to be paying attention to your audience and you have to be paying attention to trends in the space, okay? If you take a look at the big growth that's happened on my channel, it's happened by taking advantage of trends. In the very beginning, I was doing videos on WordPress and making WordPress sort of my angle, and I got, you know, hundreds of thousands of views on those. And then I saw a big trend happening on Snapchat, and I followed that. And then I saw a big trend happening with chatbots, and I followed that. And I've continued to sort of, you know, maybe go a little bit outside of my core content in order to capture trends, which to this day have brought me in the most amount of subscribers, which in turn get me the brand deals, okay, but also get me the attention from people like Daryl Eves, Michael Stelzner, and some of the industry giants that invite me to host these conferences. Okay, so treat YouTube like a business. Tip number one. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to being a professional YouTuber is that not everybody's pathway is the same, but I think we all start with the same vision. Right, where it's like you want to create videos about this X, Y, or Z topic, and you want to be, you know, paid on AdSense for those topics, and that's all you want to do. Maybe get some brand deals, but even with the brand deals, and I hear this all the time, even with the brand deals, you only want to do brand deals your way. This is just not realistic. When you hold all the marbles, when you get 5 million views per upload, then yes, you're in a different place. But most of us are not in that place, and honestly, most of us are never gonna be in that place. If you can achieve industry thought leadership, meaning that you're looked at as a leader, the top 10% in your space, in your content field, then you have done very well with your life. You've done very well with your channel. But how do you monetize that? AdSense is one way, but I'll tell you, I don't know a single YouTuber who is a full-time YouTuber that makes most of their money from AdSense. You have to be creative in your monetization pathways. And I actually want you to remember that term, monetization pathways, okay? Because that is literally the stepping stones to making money. And I think a lot of you out there are thinking, I'm gonna make such good videos that I'll make so much money on AdSense. Look, this is thinking that is incorrect. I'm not saying you can't make a ton on AdSense, but look, I was just consulting for a channel with 700,000 subscribers, and she's making $5,000 a month on AdSense. $5,000 a month, that is not enough, okay? That is not enough to earn a living, right? Like, I know some of you guys might be 22 and 25 and being like, dude, $5,000 would be amazing, okay? And it would be amazing right now. But when you have a business and a family and a mortgage and these other things, like $5,000 is not enough to live comfortably. You know what I mean? It's enough to pay the bills. Now, she makes her money selling DVD sets and membership sites and these other types of things. And so I think another great example of this is my buddy Nick Nimmin, who has been my good friend since he had 400 subscribers. We've been buddies for a long time. And you know, Nick has started a couple different membership sites, but he's also got a membership to his channel, and he's got tuber tools and these different products that you can purchase from him when you are a part of his tribe. And that may not be the route for you, like whether it's creating a course or offering a service like I did. But I want you to be thinking about, like, how can you make t-shirts? Can you make coffee mugs that say your brand name on them and sell those for 20 bucks a pop? You know, can you start a membership on YouTube or a Patreon? You know, I want you to think about multiple streams of income and how you can be bringing in money from different places so that you can call yourself a full-time YouTuber. You know, you can be full-time. And that's the next thing I wanted to talk about is, like, you know, becoming full-time and being a full-time YouTuber, literally quitting your job is like the most amazing thing that you could do. When you quit your job, okay, and you're a full-time YouTuber, you are in this place now where you get to make content full-time and you get to explore the creativity that God gave you to be the best possible version of yourself. When I quit my job, it was this joy of, like, I could sleep in today. I can explore my creativity. I can do that setup that I've always wanted to do, you know, and all of these really wonderful things. So I'm not here to knock that, but, like, at the same time, you have no boss now. You have no unemployment benefits. Maybe some of you are getting, like, work on getting fired, so you get some unemployment before you like just quit, you know. And so I wanted to just kind of, like, be realistic that when you leave your job, there are a whole bunch of adulting responsibilities, like a retirement plan, a medical plan, and these other things that come up that you got to take care of now. And that comes from the money you're making on YouTube. Now, some of you guys will have a spouse or parents, and that's cool. Like, leverage that as long as you can. My wife paid the bills for a long time, full-time teacher, working like 13, 14-hour days while I played with video, you know, in the garage. And now it's turned into this multinational, multi-six-figure business. But you gotta remember that when you quit your job, like, you are your own boss now. And let me just ask you something. Are you a good boss? You know, do you have the discipline to actually do work when you don't want to do work? Because that's what it takes to be a full-time YouTuber. You have to be in a place where you're totally uninspired, but you're making videos anyway, right? If your buddies are hitting the bar every day after work, they're gonna be calling you to come to the bar. And you gotta be in a place where you're like, I'm editing. Or you gotta be in a place where your friends are doing the same things that you are doing. And I think that that's really important. That's like your network, right? Because when you don't have a boss, you need to be accountable. And you have to have people, like, in your circle to keep you accountable. So, like, my inner circle, Nick Nimmin, Dean Nimmin, Roberto Blake, Daniel Batal, Brian G. Johnson, that's crew for me. Like, when I'm feeling like worthless and like a piece of garbage because the video didn't do well, you know, I go to them, and normally they'll just kind of like brush it off your shoulder. Like, they just keep you going. But then there's other times where you're like, well, Owen, this part sucked and that part sucked, and like you took, you know, 30 seconds to get into your video and stuff like this, and it grows me as an individual. So I want you to consider your network and who you have in your inner circle, and who do you say no to, right, when you become full-time? Because there are people that are gonna see that you don't have a job, and they're gonna downplay that. And so they're gonna either tease you, or they're gonna like wanna eat up all your time by playing and hanging out, playing video games all the time. You gotta be in a place of self-discipline, self-control. Okay, so the last thing I wanna talk about, and I wanna talk about this really quickly, is money, money, money. I don't do this for money, I do it because I love it. But if I didn't make any money, I wouldn't love it so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have 4 kids, they're amazing kids. I am myself a cancer survivor, and if you guys don't know anything about cancer, like you don't just get done with cancer. Like cancer doesn't just go away. Now I got radiation side effects. I got chemo side effects. You know what I mean? And I go through like chronic illnesses that pop up every now and then. Oh, the chemo did that, but at least you're alive. Ha ha ha. And so the medical bills like pile up. And so you really need to have a money manager. You need to think about where your money manager is coming from. You know, and on that same note, you need to be thinking about like where you're, like you can't edit your own videos forever. You need to think about outsource and your team. And I don't think you need to do that right now, but I think that you need to think about those things, right? So like we have a bookkeeper, but we also have like a financial advisor, right? And that financial advisor kind of like tells us where our money should go, whether it's like stocks or real estate or whatever. And so I think you need to have a plan for your money. I think you need to not just think about making 10 grand a month, but like what you could live off of. Can you live off of 2 grand and then put the other 8 grand into some real estate? Because investing in real estate for us has been the best thing that we have ever done. We're not millionaires. I'm not here to tell you that I'm a millionaire, but I'll tell you this, like I feel safe. Like we got COVID 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you guys knew this. I got COVID 2 weeks ago. I didn't do a damn thing for 2 weeks. I laid in my bed and drank NyQuil. That's what I did. And I didn't worry about it because we have other assets, right? If YouTube has to stop for a second, well, I still have these brand deals and I still have these other deals and I still have real estate and I have these other things that kind of come in and help me as a professional YouTuber, so I can take care of my health and I can take care of some other things. So I hope you found this rant today, this training today, a little bit more useful. I hope that it affected your mindset a little bit. I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of different videos coming up this year. We're going to be talking about live streaming tips and tools. We're going to be talking about how to beat the YouTube algorithm. This is especially big for new YouTubers, and I can show you some tricks to really elevate your channel and get you some real growth. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Start by watching this video, or is it over here? I forget. Start by watching one of these videos on the wall, and I'll see you there.